Hey guys, so for today's video, I am filming my best and worst of beauty for 2016. I'm so excited for this video. I have had so many requests from you guys for me to film this video, and I figured I would also throw in some worst products that I tried out because you guys know that every single month I not only do my monthly favorites, but I also include some regrets. So today you guys are going to be seeing just a few regrets that I've had throughout 2016, but mainly we're going to be talking about my product favorites. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to talk over each product really quickly because we all know this is going to be a long video anyways. So I want to kind of group products together and just kind of go by them super quickly. So let's start off with primer. The first primer that popped into my head when I thought about what I just used so much in 2016 is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is definitely probably my favorite primer ever. It's just like that go-to primer that's never gonna do you wrong. It's always gonna go with any single foundation. It gives you a super smooth base and I love it. I also really quickly wanna talk about some setting sprays because I use these before and after makeup. So my absolute favorite has been the Smashbox Primer Water. Not so much for making my makeup last, to be honest with you, but this is just such a good refresher. It also gives my skin this lively, healthy look because let's be honest, after you finish putting a good 30 products on your face, sometimes you just feel and look a little bit powdery. So this just kind of really uplifts everything and makes you look fresh again. And then the Kat Von D, which this is the old packaging by the way, this is the Kat Von D Lock and Load Makeup Setting Mist. You guys, this is my favorite for making your makeup last super long. If you want your makeup to last a good 5 days, I'm not even kidding you guys, this stuff does it. It's so amazing. I've been using it for maybe 2.5 years now, and I've gone through bottle after bottle after bottle. And I know it's in a new packaging now, so just keep that in mind. So of course I need to talk to you guys about my favorite foundations, and I feel like most of you guys already know which ones I'm gonna mention. So you guys know I'm obsessed with my Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. This has been my holy grail and favorite for how long? What, 2.5 years now? I'm not kidding you. I use this foundation the most, and this is probably I normally don't go through a tube of foundation because I just use so many different ones, but this is probably the one foundation that I do have to keep repurchasing because I use that much of it, and I have a good 5 shades in it. This is my go-to staple foundation. It's so full coverage. You look like a porcelain doll when you wear it, but it's not overly matte, and it's just a nice soft matte, and it lasts so long. By the way, it's amazing. I could go on and on about it, so I'm not gonna do that. My next favorite is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Full Cover Foundation. This foundation is really bomb. If you want an extreme full coverage, this is the foundation you wanna go for. It's also very matte. So this is the foundation I wanna go for when I wanna be extremely flawless, extremely matte, super duper full coverage. You only need maybe a dot or 2 of this. I'm not kidding you. It goes a really long way, but it's so nice. And every time I wear this, people are like, whoa, your skin looks like Photoshop, in person. It's literally Photoshop in a bottle. It's so good. And I think the bottle is so cute. So I also really love the Too Faced Born This Way. I actually fell in love with this in 2016 during my first impressions. I really love this. It's just so nice. It has rose in it. It has coconut water. I love the way it feels on my skin. It spreads really nicely. It's a nice medium to full. It definitely gives me full coverage, but you could get medium too with it. And it's a very nice natural type of finish, so almost like a natural soft matte. I kind of feel like it's a little bit of a lighter version of the Estee Lauder Double Wear. It's just a little bit less matte and a little bit less full coverage, so I don't know, I love this one so much. And I also love my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I used this so much in 2016. I use it in the summer, in the winter, it doesn't matter. I'm obsessed with this. It just looks like silk on the skin, and it has a nice medium to full. Again, you can get medium or you can get almost full, not completely full, but it just looks very flawless on the skin. It has a very natural finish to it. So I want to talk to you guys about another foundation. This is the Anastasia Stick Foundation. Now you guys know I'm not a huge fan of the formula of this for all over the face, but for some reason it works so good as a cream bronzer. I have been using this to death at the end of 2016, and I'm still using it. I'm actually wearing it today. It's just such a pretty natural cream bronzer. it just gives me a really nice kind of warm bronze. But like I said, it's nice and natural, so it's not too full coverage. So when I'm bronzing, I don't feel like, whoa, oh my God, I put too much on, it looks muddy. It kind of just like slowly lets you build it up, and it just looks really natural on the skin. So I'm definitely a huge concealer junkie. Anytime a new brand comes out with a new concealer, I am on it. So the first one I want to mention to you guys is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I used this so much in 2016. It was my go-to concealer. I don't use it as much anymore, like now in the recent months. Not that it's not good, because it is bomb. It's really nice and full coverage, really creamy, and blends out really nicely. It's probably the dream concealer. Like, I feel like this concealer, 99% of people are gonna love it. It's like hard to hate it. It's really nice. But I've kind of fallen in love with a new one recently, and it's the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This has definitely been my favorite and my go-to in the past, since I tried it, what, like 6 months or so. It's just really nice. It's so full coverage. It's definitely thicker than the Urban Decay Naked Skin. It's on the thicker side, but still blends really nicely. It's like a creamy thick, not a dry thick. And then I've also fallen in love with the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Cream. Now this concealer is extremely full coverage, super like matte looking, and it definitely is on the thick side. It's a little bit more of the drier thick, so you might not love this if you have dry skin, but I will say for a drier, thicker foundation, it blends like a dream. Like, it blends really nicely. One that I have just been loving even 2015 and 2016 is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is kind of my go-to concealer for a daily use when I don't want to do a full face. If I just want to do more of a soft makeup look or a no makeup look, I love this because it's drugstore, it's affordable, but it's super creamy and it gives me a nice medium coverage. I love this so much that I have gone through like so many tubes of it, and I need to buy more at the drugstore, but every time I hit up the drugstore, these are always gone because they're so popular and everyone loves them. So when it comes to powders, I use this powder so much in 2016 that I actually just recently hit pan on it. It's like barely hit pan, but it has though. This is the NYX HD Finishing Powder. I love this so much for setting my face. This is a really easy go-to translucent setting powder for me because it's pressed. I don't have to worry about making a mess with the loose powder, and it's quick, it's easy, but it works. Like, it really makes my makeup last. It makes me look super airbrushed and poreless and just flawless. Like, I love this. It's my go-to pressed translucent powder. But when it comes to loose translucent powders, I definitely have loved these two in 2016. Towards the early months of 2016, I stuck with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I love this stuff. It's really good. It's kind of just like a no-brainer. Pretty much everyone loves this. But towards the end of 2016, Kat Von D actually came out with her Lock-It translucent powder, and I love it as well. It's kind of hard for me to choose which one I love out of these because I really love both of them. But recently I've just been kind of using this one, and I do feel like this one may be a tad bit more translucent than this one. Let me know if you guys have tried these two and which one you guys like better, because I feel like that's the question that people always ask, which one is better, Laura Mercier or Kat Von D? So I want to talk about some bronzers that I have loved in 2016. So towards the earlier months, and I still love, is the Smashbox Warm Matte Bronzer. This is like my go-to favorite bronzer. Just like, it's like a no-brainer to me pretty much because it's really nice and matte, so it just looks super soft on the skin. It's really natural. It's not too overly pigmented, so when I apply it, I don't have to like think too much about it. Like, I don't have to be careful. I could just go ahead and apply it quick and easy. But you guys know I've been totally obsessed with the new Becca Warm Honey Bronzer. This is actually not a bronzer. It's a multitasking perfecting powder. So it's pretty much, you can use this powder for anything, to set your face, as an eyeshadow, bronzer, whatever. But I use this as a bronzer and I absolutely love it. I've been obsessed with it. It looks so rich and warm on the skin, so if you're not a fan of warm bronzers, you will not like this. But this bad boy is super rich and it just gives you the most perfect, like, bronzed, kissed glow. It's amazing. I love it. So another bronzer that has been my fave in 2016, this mainly I wear during the summer because it gives you the most pretty, like, soft, luminous kind of bronze. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, and as you guys can see by how much I've hit pan on it, I love it. I've never ever hit pan on a bronzer before, and this is the first one I've hit pan on, so that's how you know I really love it. For me, the way I describe this is like that J-Lo bronze. just a really soft luminous bronze. It's really beautiful. So another luminous bronzer that I really love more during the summer months is the Hourglass Ambient Luminous Bronze Light. This bronzer is really pretty. It has a very nice soft sheen to it. It gives you a super warm glow. So if you don't want anything too orangey, you might not like this, but for me, this is just warm enough without being too overly warm. With this one, I do have to be a little bit careful. It is very pigmented and it is very warm. So when I apply it, I can only apply a little bit, but when you do apply a little bit, it gives you the most beautiful warm bronze. So when it comes to blush, you guys know, I always say that I'm not a blush girl. That doesn't mean I don't love blush. I just feel like I'm not super dependent on blush. Like I've never been the type where I need that one blush and that's like my go-to blush. I kind of just use a bunch of different blushes for different looks and different times and play around with different ones. So I don't really have a blush in 2016 that I feel like I used a lot. But I will say in the past 2-3 months, I don't know what it is, I've been like really dependent on blush, and these two have been like, I've been needing them. Like every time I've been doing my makeup, I'm like, I need my NARS blush. So the first one is Luster, and Luster is the most beautiful like apricot peachy sheen blush. It's so beautiful. I've been obsessed with this on the cheeks. I've really been loving peaches lately, so this has been like my go-to kind of apricot peach blush. And this is kind of like a little cheap mention, I will say, because I did just try this out last week only. This is Deep Throat. But oh my God, how beautiful is this? Like I'm already obsessed with this, and it's 2017, so this is again a cheap product mention. Like I didn't even try this in 2016, but we're gonna mention it anyways, okay? I feel like when it comes to blushes, like I said, I was never really dependent in 2016, but 2017, I need these two by my side. So I wanna mention to you guys a liquid highlighter that really like hyped everyone up in 2016, because Cover FX was one of the first brands, I think, to come out with like a full-on liquid highlighter. Like not a cream highlighter, not a squeezable one, a full-on like watery liquid drops highlighter. So everyone was freaking out and the hype was so real. These are so bomb. They're extremely intense on the skin. They just look really, really, really good. They blend really easily too. I've even popped them on top of powder and they still blend really nicely. So I love these. My favorite shade is Sunlight, and I just want them to come out with more shades because they're really, really bomb. So when it comes to highlight, I of course was obsessed with highlighting in 2016, and there's so many highlighters that I love, love, love. But when I like sat down and asked myself, okay, what was the highlighter you used the most? And it definitely, of course, is Champagne Pop. I mean, I'm almost hitting pan in it. I don't know if you guys can like see that dent. And I haven't really made that much of a dent in any other highlighter except for this one and the next one I'm going to show you guys. I don't know, Champagne Pop is just amazing. And I also feel like it's very versatile. It looks great on multiple different skin tones. It's a very nice kind of slight golden peach shade. It's really beautiful. The other one that I love is the Makeup Forever Pro Light Fusion in number 2. So this one I used a lot in 2016, but I used the Pro Sculpting Duo in number 2, and it pretty much comes with this like half-sided. If you guys see my Duo, I used it so much and like overused it. So I'm happy that I have a new full size. I love this so much. The formula of this one's a little bit different. It's a little bit drier, packed, but not on the skin. Like on the skin, it looks very wet and intense and beautiful. But once it's in the pan, you kind of have to like chisel it off with your brush, and then you get great payoff. This one is just more of a light golden. It doesn't have too much of a peach sheen to it. So when it comes to contouring and highlighting, you guys know I've been obsessed with my Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D for so long. The main shades that I love is the yellow and this beautiful kind of warm neutral shade in the center. It's just so creamy, so pigmented, and blends really nicely. But like the contour palette, I would say I definitely use the most towards the middle to end of 2016 are the new Wet n Wild contour palettes. I love these guys so much. I even reach for it more than my Kat Von D. By the way, the Kat Von D palette, I think I had to repurchase like 2 different times in 2016, so I definitely loved it as well. But this one, look how much I've hit pan on it. Like I'm definitely gonna have to pick up another one. This is the shade Caramel Toffee. I love this shade for the beautiful yellow. I also love the other shade as well, because what's great about this shade is it comes with a really perfect kind of warm neutral tan contour shade. If you ever want a super bright highlighting powder to set your under eye with, this is really nice. It actually reminds me a lot of MAC Emphasize, I think it's called, like the really bright white under eye setting powder. So these I love so much. So when it comes to priming, this is a no-brainer for me. I have been loving this for 3 or 4 years now. This is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. It's just really nice, especially if you're like me and you have oily skin and you crease a lot. This is really nice. It has a drier formula, so when it stays on your lids, it stays there. It's super creamy, nice and thick, and it gives you full coverage for your eyelids. Makes your eyeshadow last all day. It's just bomb. So when it comes to brows, you guys know I love my Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Dark Brown. It's honestly just the best brow gel I've ever tried. It stays put all day. It's super pigmented, but you can also get a very natural brow with this. You can get a full coverage brow with this. It blends beautifully. It's not too waxy. It stays. It's just honestly the best. I also am obsessed with the Urban Decay Brow Beater, but I don't have it to show you guys because I completely ran through my entire pencil of it, and I have to pick up another one. I'm obsessed with it. It's so nice. It's probably the best brow pencil ever. I actually don't like the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil. I like the Urban Decay Brow Beater better. It just blends really nicely, applies nicely, not too pigmented, not too like light or natural coverage. I don't know, I'm obsessed with that pencil. I love it so much. So every single time I do my brows, I apply a brow gel, not only to hold your brows in place. This is the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. This will literally make your eyebrows last through a tornado. I am not even kidding you guys. And then I love the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. This gives your brows just a nice extra little tint. If you ever feel like your brows need that just a little extra of a pop, this does it, and it also does hold your brows in place pretty well as well. So I want to talk about eyeshadow palettes, and when it comes to 2016, definitely the eyeshadows I use the most are my Makeup Geek eyeshadows. You guys know I'm just obsessed with Makeup Geek single shadows. I use them all the time. They're like my no-brainer go-to shadows. Like if I ever need to do my makeup quickly and I don't have time to think of what palette I want to use, this is a no-brainer. There's just so many beautiful shades you can choose from. I created kind of like my own little palette. Let me know if you guys want me to do a blog post where I show you what the names of all of these are. I can definitely do that, but I'm obsessed with the Makeup Geek formula. They're super affordable, but they're very creamy, very blendable, so pigmented. Honestly, I love these. So another eyeshadow palette I definitely used a ton in 2016 is the Tarte Tartelette palette. I was obsessed with this. I still love this so much. Like if I want to do like a full mauve makeup look, this is always my go-to. But I was so obsessed with this for like the longest time, because you guys remember when I literally only wore mauve makeup for like 4 months straight. That's how obsessed I was with mauve. I still love mauve, like I said, but I was so obsessed with it for a little while there, and this was my go-to. It's so nice and pigmented, creamy, and just having that palette with all of your favorite mauves is a perfect kind of go-to. So this one kind of snuck in towards the end of 2016, but I have to say I love the Modern Renaissance palette. I just think it's so well put together. Like all of the shades complement each other really well. You could do a super funky look, you could do a super smoky brown look, you could do a mauve look, you could do a warm look, you could do a natural look, you could do a taupey look, you could do a warm look. Like there's just so many things you could do with this palette, and I love the formulas of them. It's just, it's a great go-to palette. Mine is so dirty. So I want to talk about a liner that I've been obsessed with in 2016, and I still am. This is the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. When I fall in love with a liquid liner, it's very hard for me to kind of switch because I feel like liquid liner is hard. So once you find the one you love, you stick with it, and I love this one. It's very full coverage, and it's super, super, super matte. I hate when you apply a wing liner and it has like that satiny finish or like a soft finish. I want it to be super matte, and this gives me that. And I love the wand on this too. Like I'm very picky when it comes to my wands because liner is hard to apply. So you got to use one that you're comfortable with. And I just love how this sits in my hand. I love the brush applicator. I love how thin it gets. And then if you turn it on its side, it's a little bit thicker. So I tend to turn it this way to create that sharp wing, and then this way to fill in the wing. So it's just so convenient. It makes applying liquid liner easier because we all know it's a struggle. It is. I don't know what it is, but the lighting in today's video is so dull. Like I feel like I just look super dead in this video, and it's not like that in person. Like I'm looking in the mirror and it is not like that. So the lighting is just dead today. Excuse that. So I want to move on and talk about mascara, of course. I feel like you guys know what I'm going to say. My favorite mascara ever is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. I've gone through tubes on tubes on tubes on tubes of this mascara. I even have backups in my backup drawer. I just love it so much. It's the perfect like fan wispy lash. Like if you want super voluminous, lengthy, fanned, curled lashes, like everything. I love it. I love the plastic applicator because I've just fallen in love with plastic applicators. I love the curveness to it. It's just, it's so bomb. Like it's really, really, really good. I also love their new one, Big Shot. It's amazing, but I just tried that out, so it's not a 2016 favorite. So I want to talk about my favorite lashes of 2016, and the first ones that popped to my mind, like what did I use the most in 2016? Definitely my Esquito Voila lashes, these ones right here. I used them so much, and I don't have a clean pair to show you guys. I wish I could show you guys a clean pair, but they're beautiful. Like they are so beautiful. They give you the most pretty like cat eye elongated sultry lash, like you know when it just kind of is shorter over here and then kind of longer out there. It just makes me feel, every time I put those lashes on, it makes me feel super like feline, cat eye, sultry, sexy feeling. I just love those. And then the ones that I have on today, I definitely used a ton in 2016. These are the Queen Bee lashes. These are really beautiful. They're super long and super fluffy and wispy. Like fluffy would be the way I would describe them. I'm wearing them today. I love, love, love these, but I do have to cut a good chunk off the end because they're very long. So I feel like if you have big eyes or wide eyes and you need longer lashes, like longer bands, you would actually love these. But for me, I just chop off the ends of them and kind of start applying it from here. And then you get a really nice fluffy wispy lash. So when it comes to lip products, this is a really hard one for me to say because I feel like I just get so obsessed with a certain lipstick and then I wear it for like a month or two and then I move on and then I move on and then I move on to other ones. So it's really hard for me to kind of mention favorites of 2016 for lipsticks, but I thought back to what I wore from the beginning to the middle to the end. And I would say towards the beginning, I definitely was obsessed with, I know a lot of you guys are gonna expect me to mention Pure Hollywood, but I still, like, I feel like Pure Hollywood at this point is like a forever favorite of mine. It's 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's just always gonna be a favorite. So I'm just gonna not even bother. But another favorite of mine in 2016 was definitely Dose of Colors Truffle. Like I used this so much towards the beginning, like when it first came out. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's a really pretty mauve. I wore this a lot when I was obsessed with mauve lipsticks, and I still am obsessed with mauve lipsticks, but I had like this stage where I only wore mauve lipsticks. It's such a beautiful lipstick, and I love their liquid lipstick formula. It's really nice. So another liquid lipstick I really wanted to mention to you guys, I kind of discovered the best liquid lipstick formula ever, I feel like, and it's the Huda Beauty liquid lipsticks. They're amazing. I feel like it's gonna be hard for anybody to hate these. They're super watery, so they give you like that comfort feel while still being super matte. So it's like the complete contradiction. It's so nice. They're very full coverage. It also has some amazing shades in these, but one of my favorites is definitely Trendsetter and Venus. So here is Trendsetter. It's a really gorgeous warm brown, like a very kind of mid-tone brown. And then there's also Venus, which is a really pretty kind of lighter mauve shade. So I definitely have been obsessed with Kylie lip products now and in 2016. First I want to show you guys is Exposed. I'm obsessed with Exposed. It's so beautiful. It's the most prettiest warm peachy brown. It's the perfect go-to like warm lip for me, but sometimes I want to make it more peachy and lighter, so I will mix it with Dirty Peach. And this combo has been like my combo towards the end of 2016. I'm obsessed with it. I actually just wore it the other day and I still am obsessed with it. Like it's just so nice. I will swatch Dirty Peach on its own and then I will go ahead and take a little bit and kind of mix it in here. And then you guys can see what I mean. You see how it's just like the prettiest nude peach when you mix a little bit of Dirty Peach in there? So nice. And I feel like I will love Dirty Peach for springtime on its own. I have been obsessed with So Cute lip gloss. This lip gloss is the perfect like topper gloss on top of a nude lip. It is very, very, very pale. So like I said, it's just a great topper gloss. So I've never really been too much of a fan of lip liners just because, I mean, I like them. It's just sometimes I'm way too lazy by the end of my makeup to apply them. But there's definitely been one lip liner that I've used so much out of my entire collection, and this is the MAC Whirl lip liner. It's just a really beautiful kind of mauve-y type of nude. So if you just need to add some dimension to your lips, this has been my go-to. So I didn't really use lipstick too much in 2016, but towards the end, I've kind of gotten back to lipstick. And this used to be my favorite. This is MAC's Flesh Pot, and like I said, I've kind of gotten right back into it. I love Flesh Pot. It's extremely, extremely pale, so a lot of you guys are not going to be a huge fan of it. It's very, very, very pale. But what I love is to apply a nude lipstick and then take a little bit of this and apply it in the center, and it just gives you a nice little like ombre effect, and it's a great mixer shade since it's so pale if you want to make a nude lighter. So this lipstick I've fallen in love with towards the end of 2016, and I still am obsessed with it to this day. Like, I pop this in my purse. That's how much I love this. This is the Sephora Shine lipstick. It's so, so, so beautiful. It's a very, very, very sheer peach, super glossy lipstick. So it's been the perfect topper for me. I have been obsessed with this. Like, this swatch is not even going to do it justice. Like, I don't know if you guys can see how glossy that is. It's so beautiful. I love popping this on the lips. If I'm gonna do a super natural makeup, just putting this on the lips, and I just have a really soft, sheer, peachy glow. Or if I'm glamming up a little bit more, I'll put a nude lipstick on and then top it with this, and it just gives it a super glossy finish. I'm obsessed with this lipstick. So that is it for my beauty favorites of 2016. I want to go ahead and mention a couple of regrets. If you guys want to see every single regret that I've had for 2016, then definitely check out my monthly favorites and regrets videos. But I am just going to mention a couple. So the first one I would say is the Tarte Pro Glow Palette. This was like a big product that really disappointed me in 2016 towards the end of it, because when this first came out, I was like, yes, like I was so excited thinking, oh my God, these are going to be so bomb. But I don't know, to me the formula is just a bit dry, a bit chalky, and it doesn't give you that intense highlight. And I understand some people only want a natural highlight, which is fine, but even for a natural highlight, this just looks dry on the cheeks. So another palette that I really did not like was the L'Oreal Pro Contour Palette. This was another huge disappointment of 2016, because when this first came out, I was like, yes, you know, drugstore contour duo, this is bomb. But the formula is just not good, guys. It does not blend out nicely at all. It's just super patchy on the skin, so I was not a fan of this. The next regret of 2016 was definitely the Kat Von D Lock It Color Correcting Eyeshadow Primer. I had such high hopes for this because I thought that this was going to be like my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, but just in a tube form and just easier to apply. But it definitely isn't. It's super dry. It also didn't blend out very nicely. It kind of looked very dry and patchy, and it kind of stuck to certain areas and then didn't blend out really nice. So the biggest disappointment for foundations in 2016 for me was definitely the Estee Lauder. My skin crawls when I even see this. The Skin Glowing Balm. If you guys watch my full face of makeup using products I hate video, then you will see this product in action. It just does not blend out nice at all. It's like plasticine almost. It's so thick and it stays in the same shape that it comes out in. Like, that's how thick it is. And when you just try to blend it out, look at it. It's like I just touched that piece and it still stayed in that little tube. When you try to blend it out, it's like impossible. It feels super heavy on the skin. It's very, very, very greasy looking. It's just, ooh, this was not a no-go for me. And just to show you guys, like, see, as I'm trying to blend this out, like, there's just chunks and it like stays in its form. Like, it took me a good minute just to even blend that out on my hand. And there's still chunks. It's a no-go. So last regret is the L'Oreal Lumi Foundation. I definitely thought I would love this, but for me, I really did not like it. It's weird because a lot of people said that this is dewy, so it's not for oily skin, but on me, it wasn't dewy at all. It was actually very dry looking, and it did not blend nice. It was kind of patchy. I just didn't have a fun experience with it. It was actually so bad that I thought it was expired for sure, but when I checked the expiry date, it says 2018, so definitely isn't expired. This just did not blend out on my skin nice at all. So that is it for my best and worst of beauty 2016. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will go ahead and link every single product down below for you guys. Also, if you want to see what my favorite brushes are, because I get asked that question a lot, I have a full blog post on my blog, www.amymacedo.com, listing every single brush that is my favorite. And all you have to do is click on the photo and it'll take you right away to purchase it. So definitely check that out if you guys are interested in my favorite brushes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys. Mwah.